It's personal story time.
Oh wow, man! Holy crap, we've only made it through one segment. We're 45 minutes in. All right, personal story time, gentlemen. Tell me a story, Daddy, of when you were the youngest person at your job.
I don't remember if I was the youngest person because at 9 years old, I didn't know to ask.
What job was that, Kurt?
Picking beans on the farm.
All
9
right.
cents a bushel. I mean, 9 cents a
That's right.
pound
Yeah,
per
you did
bushel.
talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, because we did the math on how much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. All right, Joe. When were you the youngest at your job?
Um, I mean, working at my first job at Burger King, I'm pretty sure I was the youngest. But I quickly became valued for my hard work. So there's that.
Look at me. I'm Joe. I'm valuable as a young
Well,
kid.
and then I was ended up being there so long that I had all of the prices after tax memorized, and so I didn't even have to be at the register to ring people up and give them their total.
He was there so long he became known as the Burger Queen.
Nerds.
Well, and I've mentioned before that they were considering making me a manager, and then I moved away. So
Is it BS?
I'm pretty sure. He changes the facts of that story every time, Kurt. I'm pretty sure it's BS.
Pretty sure I've never changed
Nerds.
So,
Charles.
I memorized the text. Get out of here with that crap.
He was the best Whopper boy they ever had.
They retired his apron when he left. What hangs on the wall today?
What really confused people is when we put on our billboard that we were accepting McDonald's coupons.
Oh, I do remember that era. That was a great era.
And so, like, whatever the Big Mac coupon said, you got a Whopper for that price and stuff like that. It was, people were like, you're accepting McDonald's coupons? What? Yeah, sure are.
But man, Joe, after you take your kids to their temple visits, it must be nice to take them back to that hometown and go up to the counter and point to the back. You see that ragging on the wall, son? That was my apron. They remember me to this day. And you, son, can be just as good as me if you know how to convert from the Big Mac to the Whopper.
See that red stain on it? Love to say it was blood, but it was just ketchup. Just ketchup.
Stupid. Up until probably my mid 30s, I was almost always the youngest at my job. Maybe late 20s. I started working when I was 15 at a grocery store, and so I was the only 15-year-old working there. A lot of my jobs went that way. To the last one being, I became a paramedic when I was. So I was 18. I went to EMT school. It's about 20. I think I became a paramedic when I was 20. And no, 23.
Yeah. This sounds like there's a lot of holes in this. Just saying.
Look, go watch whatever we're calling the Dragon Con Twitch stream that we do on Wednesday nights on DC Digital Media on twitch.tv. Details are not my specialty. Entertainment specialty. We established a lot. What? Anyway, I was young when I became a paramedic. Okay, and I, like you, Joe, I was good at my job. But as a paramedic, you're in charge of the scene. So I have 45 to 60-year-old firefighters who are chiefs on a scene looking at this little 23, 24-year-old snot-nosed brat trying to do medicine and tell everybody what to do. And it worked. But it was always, man, there's some pictures. There's a picture of me somewhere with a shaved head and a shaved face. So it is not a good picture. Now I can see Kurtz has a mission to find that picture somehow, some way. I don't think it exists on the internet, but yeah. But even in my first command positions, I was younger than the people I was working with. The office I went to when I got out of the field, I was the youngest person there. And that was mid-30s. So it's weird. It's weird. And now my contemporaries who run companies like I do in EMS, I'm probably 15 years younger than they are for the most part. So it's just a odd thought. But now
Burdened by success. We get it. The Charles McFall
look.
story.
That's gonna be the name of my book. But all this gray hair comes from the crown, because heavy is the head that wears the crown that sits right there. It's proof I have a halo. Kurt, what's it like being the oldest person at your job?
I'm not.
I knew that was going to be the answer. I totally knew that was going to be the answer.
No, that being said, I am the third oldest at the job. But it doesn't matter because I'm in a leadership position. So when you're old and you're in charge, it's okay. When you're old and you're a minion, that's a problem. And it's only a problem. It's not a problem like, can you do the work or anything like that? It's a problem in that I believe that older people in the lower level jobs end up getting disrespected, and not valued for their experience by and large. Because look, with age does come some wisdom, whether people want to admit it or not. And it does a disservice if we don't respect at least that aspect of things. They may not be the most skilled at that job, but they have stuff to offer. So that's all. But I've been the younger guys. Like, again, I started my first computer career at 19. So I was a younger
but you
guy.
didn't tell that story. You talked about picking beans.
No, because I wasn't the youngest at the job. I wasn't the youngest at the job at 19. No, at 9, I think I was. but my computer job at 19, I don't believe I was.
That darn 3-year-old, he was doing such a better job than you at 9.
But he couldn't count like I could, so I stole his money.
Roll that dice.
You know, there's something to be said about wisdom comes with age, but when you're 80 and still having to run the register at McDonald's, I kind of question your judgment and life choices.